Let me just bring in Honorable Wandayi here. Senate goes into session starting tomorrow after that gazette notice by the Senate Speaker. So what should we expect? Because at the end of the day, the bill is still going to go through a referendum, either it's amended or not. So why all this process if it's still going to go for a referendum without amendment or without any amendment?
Victor, everybody knows quite clearly,
yes,
that whether Parliament, and in this case National Assembly and Senate, whether it passes the bill or not, the bill is headed to the people.
Because it is a popular initiative.
Correct.
Right.
And therefore what you've been hearing or seeing is simply political posturing. But having said so, we also want to make a statement in Parliament that indeed this bill enjoys the majority of members of, enjoys the support of the majority of members of Parliament by turning out in our large numbers on Thursday to vote for this bill.
That sounds like a formality, Mheshimiwa.
Well, you know, it's not easy to get numbers in Parliament many times. You know that?
Right.
Yes. So we don't want this bill to go to the public having received minority support in Parliament, because that would send wrong signals. Okay?
Yes.
Even though it is an academic process, if I may call it so, it's a formality. Okay? But we want to send out a message to our people that their representatives in Parliament have endorsed this bill, even as it goes to the referendum. So that is our duty this week. Yes, and I'm hopeful.
Yes.
Looking at the numbers, how they are playing out, looking at how our roll call is turning out to be, that both houses are going to pass this bill.
Yes. But the question is the issue of delimitation and the creation of 70 new constituencies. How the referendum is going to be done, and we have got an election in the next few months to come. How is it going to pan out so that Kenyans do not feel like everything has been overstretched and the budget has also been overstretched? The whole of this process done within a record period of time.
Let's make one step at a time. I don't think there's going to be any problem whatsoever if the courts can clear the hurdles, yes, which are being placed on the part of this process.
Yes.
Yes, by giving us the green light to proceed to the referendum. Yes, in the shortest time possible. Yes. Well, Victor, there is a lot of gain in this bill. From where I sit, yes, of course everybody would look at it differently.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But one single most important gain, if you ask me, Victor, remains that of increasing the allocation to our counties.
35%?
Yes. Yes. We will have achieved what we have been fighting for all these years. All these years. Victor, the reason why people fight and shed blood for the presidency is not just because of power for the sake of power. Because power is meaningless if it cannot allocate resources.
Right.
Okay? So people have essentially been fighting for resources. And the only way in the past, in fact up to now, you would be assured of getting resources is when you had political power. Okay? And the political power which is based in Nairobi.
Yes.
Which had all the leeway, the authority to determine who gets what and when. Okay?
Yes.
Now we are trying to reconfigure that by dispersing not only power but also resources to the periphery.
So which means the BBI is going to strengthen devolution. The
periphery which has suffered for so long.
Yes.
So devolution is going to be strengthened in a most fundamental way. After this bill is passed, or it becomes part of the Constitution. Because the national government will be compelled, the national treasury will be compelled to disburse at least 35% of the national revenue.
Yes.
It's not a small matter. I can tell you, because in Parliament I chair the Public Accounts Committee, and I know yes,
Yes.
What it means to have 35% of the national revenue.
How will it be achieved? Because some opposers of the bill says that if we cannot achieve the 15%, how are we going to make the minimum 35%?
What do they mean by not achieve 15%?
Okay, that's my question to you.
Really. People just talk. People just talk out of ignorance sometimes. You know, once we have this clearly stipulated in the Constitution that a minimum 35% must go to the counties.
Yes.
It must be 35% of what is collected.
Of what is collected.
Yes, of what is collected. And therefore, whoever is in charge of the budget-making process, both the National Treasury and National Assembly,
yes,
must factor that in, okay, in the budget-making process. And be sure that they will only be left with 65% at most.
Yes.
For the performance of national government functions. The rest will go to perform devolved functions. Okay? So really, so when somebody says difficult, so what does he mean? What is so difficult? Is it the computing the amounts or what?
Yes.
Because once the law says that is the minimum, it must be the minimum.
It must be the minimum, right?
Really. Can somebody come up and tell me for now that since the advent of this constitution, or since 2013 for that matter, okay, when the devolved governments were established,
yes,
okay, that any single year the counties have received less than 15% of the national revenue.
Right.
Can somebody say that? The answer is no. Okay? And why is it no? Is that because the law says so, the Constitution says so. Okay? But the same token, once it raises it 35%, the counties will get it. And it will have massive impact.
Right.
In the rural economies. So there will be no need for people to fight tooth and nail to come to Nairobi and occupy a state house as president. Okay?
Looking for resources.
Because money is down there.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, it will even reduce the rural-urban migration.
Right.
Yeah, because there's money down there,
yes,
which can help the entrepreneurs and also help the citizens, yes, to go about their economic activities. Yes.
Talk of devolution. I can see Honorable Gladwell is having her tea down there. Probably that is her form of devolution. Baringo County was one of the counties that first rejected. Yeah, actually, it's hot tea. It's hot tea. It's hot tea. Baringo County was one of the counties that rejected the BBI bill on the onset. What is the mood on the ground as we speak? Because where it is right now, it's as good as done, so to speak.
Victor, I know we are quoted as one of the counties which has rejected this document.
Yes.
At the assembly level. But I must say that our MCAs, if we can take them back today, they will want to pass it. Sometimes we do things with emotion. We do things with some motive. And with that, you know, maybe they thought everybody will do it the same way. And they thought they are going to start it, and they were going to set a precedence.
Yes.
And it is unfortunate that later on, the remarks that were made by the MCAs in Baringo County was very unpleasant and very uncivilized. Because you see, it is in record, them saying that actually we were not even failing the BBI, we were just wanting to disappoint Gideon Moi.
Yes.
And you see, that is not representing the people. You shouldn't reduce your representation to an individual. They would have read the document and made some wise decisions. And even if they were going to turn down the documents, the reason should not be Gideon Moi.
Yes.
They should have given us better reasons as to why they turned down the document. Because it was not actually a must that you pass it. But when you now narrow it down to an individual, it really negates everything that a leader who represents people must be speaking about. And as we are speaking now, the document is one that is going to benefit any MCA, those who are incumbent or those who are going to come.
Yes.
Because as we are speaking, MCAs of this country are at the mercy of the governor. If the governor is not liking you, probability of you getting some funds to develop your ward is almost zero. But now, in this case, the Constitution is giving the MCA a full mandate, a full authority of a ward fund that is mandatory. You don't have to be a friend to the governor. And this will develop their ward. And this will give, it is going to make devolution real. But how do you come to just oppose just because you want to please somebody somewhere? Or some political arrangements, which are, you see, the challenge that we have, Victor, with this BBI, are people are really mixing BBI as a document with 2022 issues. Can we separate them? Because people are amalgamating. Can we look at the document separately without actually mixing it with 2022 issues? And then after that now, after passing the document or failing, we can discuss 2022 separately. That is how our people fail. And you know, the notion was, and especially in Rift Valley, this BBI is coming to curtail an individual. It is coming to block so and so from not getting leadership. That is the mentality that was sent. And so people read negativity on BBI. And some instances, people are saying, no, this BBI it belongs to Raila, the right honorable Raila. It is very, very, very sad to really attack a document. Let's read the document. Let's be positive thinkers.
Yes.
As Kenyans, we should come back to patriotism. Let's be positive thinkers. 2022 will come, 2022 will pass. For those of us who will be alive, we'll continue with life. People talk as if there is no life after 2022.
Right.
Kenya is not coming to an end after 2022. So this document has a perpetual life. It is beyond 2022.
Right.
And so this is that is actually, even in the National Assembly now, when you look or launch places, and even in the House itself, it is very clear that people have divided themselves into those political alignments, even they discussing the document. Meaning people are attaching this document to 2022.
Right.
And it is I would urge or beg our people to really separate the two, so that we look at these documents with an open mind.
Yes.
We see the positivity in it. That part that we think is not very good for us, we say now for this, even as a house, legislative house, we need to highlight those areas that we think they are not very nice with us. And after highlighting them, we say now, if the positive part outweighs the negative part, then we call that document good. It is even I can compare it with the medicine. In medicine field, all medicines have negative or they have side effects. But when the positive effects outweighs the side effects, we say that drug is good. But it doesn't mean that the drug is so good that you won't feel anything wrong when you take it. So same way this document. It doesn't mean that the document is 100% good. I doubt, because this is made by human being. It's a man-made document. So of course there might be errors here and there, and like I put before, we may not be able to please everyone around who wants their thing to be put in.
All right, Michelle, let me just hold on a bit. Hold on. I'll come.
Baringo County, Victor, let me put this so that you go. Baringo County is one of the counties that would have been affected adversely if BBI did not come to rescue us. Because as per the current constitution, there are some things that you need to meet to be made a constituency, to be called a constituency. And for us as Baringo County, because of our population, especially in Mogotio sub-county, we were supposed to lose Mogotio sub-county because the population does not meet those requirements that give us a constituency. So if BBI has come to save us, especially now, then the people who should lead, the MCS of Mogotio sub-county, and Mogotio sub-county people and their leadership should be the first ones to actually support BBI, because it was going to affect them adversely. And that is my home constituency before I got married to Baringo North.
Okay, Michelle, before I let you go, as a way of supporting Good Morning Kenya, brand that cap also to Good Morning Kenya, GMK. That cap is not branded.
Unfortunately, just a plain cap, it's not going to affect
just to support GMK, just brand that cap to GMK. Okay, let me bring in Opiyo Wandayi here. Why is the issue of delimitation and 70 constituencies just quite a thorny issue on this bill as you speak right now?
Well, you know, constituencies have always been a thorny issue from the very beginning. Yeah, so I would have been surprised if there was no contention around the matter of constituencies. Yeah. So what the promoters of the bill, of course, have done is to create the constituencies and allocate them to counties. Okay?
Yes.
A matter which, of course, the IBC was contesting.
Yes, that's their mandate.
And, of course, under Article 89, yes.
Yes.
But of course, there's a difference in opinion amongst lawyers. Yeah, as to whether their interpretation is correct or not. Yeah, because there's one school of thought which holds that the people have the sovereign power.
Yes.
Yes.
Delegated to the IBC.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. If they had given the IBC that power in 2010, they can decide in the manner the promoters of this bill are suggesting to take it away from them, even if temporarily.
Yes.
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 So there are different schools of thought and views about this matter. It's a matter which is, of course, thorny, as usual, given that the constituency is about representation. Okay. Yes. And I don't think it is proper to pick up that one single issue in the bill.
Yes.
Focus on it to the exclusion of everything else.
All right.
Yes, as I've said before and repeatedly, that there are very many things I would have personally wanted to be in that bill, yet they are not there. Yeah, and equally, there are other things which are in that bill which I would have wanted to be left out.
Yes.
but they're there.
Okay. Before you close, I just wanted to comment on this one. The nomination of CJ, that is Martha Koome, quickly. Yes. She's the first CJ, if passed by Parliament again, you have her life in hands. So in 20 seconds, what do you think she's going to make quite different in the judiciary?
Well, as a Kenyan, I can only be hopeful.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can only be optimistic that she will bring in some positive changes in the judiciary, but particularly in the administration of justice. Yes. Yes, so that justice becomes accessible to the majority of Kenyans.
Yes.
As the Constitution requires, really. Yes, and more importantly again, that she will take decisive steps to rein in corruption.
Yes.
Yeah, which is perceived to be rampant in the judiciary. If we can deal with those two only,
yes,
yes, I'm sure she shall have achieved a lot in her tenure.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
And I wish her well. Yes, I'm waiting for the time to debate her nomination and take a vote. Yes.
Okay. Now that she is a woman going to be the CJ, let me just give Madam Gladwell to give her last word on that. I know it is quite in less than 20 seconds. You are smiling because it's a win for women. In 20 seconds, Mheshimiwa, as you close, what's your expectation for Madam Martha Koome, Justice?
Before we talk of expectation, Victor, first of all, let me take this opportunity to congratulate her and appreciate the work of the president to actually consider giving her a position as a woman. I know it was the first one of its kind, and actually East Africa now is appreciating women. We are very grateful that in Tanzania we have a female president, Her Excellency Suluhu,
who is also visiting the country tomorrow.
And we want to say that even before expectations, we want to really wish her well. And that because she's been in those corridors for long, she knows actually the deficits, the challenges that people go. The biggest one that she needs to do is to win the trust of Kenyans back to judiciary, because as you're speaking now, Kenyans have very, very little, if any, trust with the judiciary. So that is what she needs to work on to make people really continue having trust with the judiciary. That is the big thing that he needs to work on.
Okay, so is this a win for women? This it's been long coming, because talk about affirmative action and women in leadership. How is it going to herald more women to take these positions?
Victor, that goes without saying. It is a big win for women, not only in Kenya, but in East Africa. That's what I said. And for us women, even after she was given the position, we stopped looking at other parameters. When people are discussing about tribe and what, for us, we have one tribe called women. And so for that case, as for women, we are nearing there. We only hope that she will prove herself, so that she can give us a chance to also get better positions in this country. Because I know it has been for a long time, people think that women are not able. I believe now, having been made...
Okay, all right. All right, we have that network problem again. That's how Zoom sometimes works, the technology we have around there. Mheshimiwa, just briefly. Okay, all right. Okay, yes. Continue. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mheshimiwa, there was some issues between some people speaking from one side in Parliament, you know, MP that is Utinda Molo and Honorable James Orengo speaking from a different side of the divide. And now the question I have here from one gentleman called Jackson says, what is the stand of ODM legislators in terms of how the BBI is going to flow, because we have Orengo and Otiende speaking from a different side?
The ODM party position on the BBI bill, which is currently in Parliament, was clearly stated in the statement that was issued, I think, on Tuesday last week by the national chairman of the party, the Honorable John Mbadi. In that statement, which was very unequivocal, the chairman said that we, not only in ODM, but in the minority coalition, are going to support the bill in totality, in its entirety.
Yes.
That is the same position we had taken a day before as MPs from Nyanza, okay?
Yes.
Through a statement that I personally read out to the media, okay? So there's no contradiction whatsoever insofar as the parties stand on the BBI bill. Yes. Of course, as I've said before, you cannot rule out divergence of opinion or differences in opinion. But the party position is clear and it stands.
Yes.
Yes.
Somebody would ask that we have Honorable Tienda Molo and Honorable James Orengo, who are behind this process from the onset. Then somebody's asking, why now?
The jury is out there. I don't want to pretend to be a prophet,
right?
To be able to answer such a question, because I don't know for sure. Yeah, what is the problem?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Parliament resumes tomorrow its sittings after recess. We have got a lot for you people on in your tray and so much to be discussed. And then again, the Senate is here. What should we expect now moving forward? Are we going to have a smooth sailing until now the end of this process is done with?
We want to dispense with this matter as Parliament.
Yes.
This week. So that it gets off our hands. And take it to the President. Of course, to sign the bill into an act and progress it to the IBC to conduct the referendum.
Yes.
Yes. So I think that is the singular duty that we have as a Parliament this week. And as I've said before, we are equal to the task. We are going to rise to the occasion, yes, and do justice to this bill in the manner that was desired by the more than 3 million Kenyans who signed it off. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have one text message here from. This is from Nyarseme. Nyarseme says, "That is my incoming governor speaking." I don't know how true is this statement.
Seme must be wishing me well.
But how true is this?
I think she must be looking forward to me becoming the governor of Siaya one of these days.
Okay.
And I must thank her for expressing confidence in me and my capacity to be her governor. But however, that is a decision which we are yet to make. Yes. We are focused on the most immediate things. Yes, we have to deal with the BBI, and then the rest shall follow. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nyaseme, you've been answered, and continue wishing Mheshimiwa well. Madam Gladwell, your last words as we wind up this program. What's your last word? Yes, but we still promise that that cup is going to be granted GMK. What's your last word, Madam?
My last word will go to Kenyans at large, and especially my fellow legislators, that we should know that we are the representatives of the people.
Yes.
Actually, it is our duty to look at what is befitting we represent.
Okay.
Let's be sober. Sorry. As legislators,
so
that we are not actually too much tied up with 2022 elections, forgetting the core mandate that we were given by the people who elected us to represent them fully without being biased on issues, even those ones that are benefiting the general public. So as we discuss this document, I'm really urging that the House becomes sober. We refrain ourselves from really attaching this document to 2022 issues, and we look at it separately so that we can be able to come up with a one direction that can be able to really change the life of Kenyans. It may not be agreeable, but let's not amalgamate the issues so that we can be able to represent our people well. Let's also not be biased in decision making just because we want to.
Okay, I think we've lost her. Mheshimiwa, on that note, let me just say thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. All right, that was Honorable Gladwell Cheruyiot, the MP and member of, that is woman representative of Baringo County, joining me live via Zoom from Nakuru. And of course, in studio, I have Honorable Opiyo Wandayi, who is the MP of Ugunja. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Time runs very fast. We've barely covered almost everything, but here we are. Time is just that. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's do this again tomorrow. My name is Victor Oloo. GMK takes a break. We'll be right back with more. Good morning.